Hi, I'm Sherri Jones, Dean of the College of Education and Human Sciences at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Each year, the college presents the Christa McAuliffe Prize for Courage and Excellence in Education to a Nebraska teacher who exemplifies the character of Christa McAuliffe, the first teacher in space who died in the 1986 Challenger space shuttle disaster. The pandemic this year showcased to the world the courage that teachers exhibit on a daily basis. In the face of adversity, teachers dig deeper, get creative, and take swift action to help students reach their maximum potential. This year's recipient of the Christa McAuliffe Prize for Courage and Excellence in Education is James Hill. James is an exemplary teacher who exhibits courage in his role as a Spanish teacher at Lincoln Southwest High School. He is not afraid to speak up or try something new to make sure his students receive the support they need to thrive. That's courage. On behalf of the College of Education and Human Sciences, congratulations, James.
To be the recipient of the Christa McAuliffe Prize is incredibly humbling. When I look at past award winners and I try to mentally place myself in that category, it's really pretty incredible. I mean, they've accomplished some wonderful things, and it's very humbling. And after a year like this, where a lot of us teachers, we experienced a lot more failure, I think, than ever before. And it was a very challenging year. And I think the teachers across the nation, I mean, you could give this award to about any teacher for making this year work, because this year was tough. At the end of the day, my job description says I'm a high school Spanish teacher. But the reality is, I'm just an educator who hopes that when my students come to my class, they're coming to a place where they feel comfortable and safe enough to make mistakes. Confident enough to know that making those mistakes is okay, because they're in a supportive environment where they can let their guard down and they can be themselves. And most importantly, each of them truly matters. When that environment helps them experience success and actually get pretty good at Spanish while they're here, well, that's just a bonus. I think you can define courage a lot of different ways. There's courage in all kinds of fields, but I think courage in education is, you see it in kids and you see it in teachers, but I think a lot of it's trying to do what's best for kids and hold yourself and hold others accountable to high standards. Maybe you have to have a difficult conversation with a colleague because what they're doing is not what's best for a kid, or potentially an administrator. And maybe sometimes you kind of have to stand up, and sometimes that's not always easy to do, because questioning authority is challenging at times. And I think if you can model that as a teacher, that as long as you do it in a respectful manner and you have points and valid points and you're not just complaining, that you can accomplish some things. And I think if you can teach kids to be better advocates in that regard, and be courageous and don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in, as long as you're doing it in a respectful manner, that they can get some good things accomplished. If you can convince your kids that I'm here because I care about you, and you need to care about each other, and you can model that and model that and model that, and then they start to do that, then they can kind of start taking care of the problems before they even get to you, because they care about each other and they hold each other accountable. And I think those things help quite a bit. I think a lot of people wake up in the morning and like, oh, another day of work, but I don't feel that way. I really enjoy what I do, and it's about the kids, because without the kids, I don't know where this would be. It's a very rewarding field, because the kids are awesome, and you get new ones all the time, and you get to keep in touch with the ones that go, some of them, and it's just fun to see them grow. So.